So we're still talking about the estate trustee and their responsibilities. Now we're going to be talking about handling the debts and taxes that they have to do. So this is really important for estate trustees to do. They've got to go through the deceased, I'll say all of their financial paperwork, find out who is owing and in what amounts. They've got to compile that list. Now, even though that they do that, it's not paid out specifically in just the order that they think. But then what happens if there's not enough cash? Some estates are not that big, but there's a lot of debts. Then the estate trustee has to figure out, maybe with the help of the family, which debts are going to be paid before others. But then if you need to go as the estate trustee and get a lawyer, you got to consider that's going to cost money, and that's going to come out of the estate, which takes away, again, monies to be able to pay the debtors or even to distribute to any beneficiaries. Because a lot of times beneficiaries just expect that they're getting something, not realizing that the person who died didn't actually have a very large estate because of the debt they carried. And that's not always known until the very end when the estate trustee is going through the estate. So some of the debts that the estate trustee would have to compile would be anything that would be like a mortgage, credit card balance, personal loans. There could be car loans, any unpaid bills from just utilities, medical expenses that might have come out, financial obligations that might be there. Sometimes, and you'll see this, that people put ads in the paper to see if there's anybody who has a claim against the estate. Basically, speak now or forever hold your peace, because you're going to have so much time to make your claim, and then the estate trustee will have so much time in order to pay those debts. But again, there may not be enough money in the estate to actually pay them all. So what comes first? There is a pecking order when it comes to paying debts. First of all, the funeral home gets paid. Number one. So that comes right off the top. Next would be any taxes owing to the government. And again, because you're collecting this money, you're cashing out things, you're going to be, liquidating any registered plans, things that are taxable. The government must get their money before any of the other bills that get paid. Funeral home, CRA. That's the way it is. And then you're going to have things like secured debts. So if there was a mortgage, that would be the next one. And then unsecured would be the credit card, personal loans. And then you have to decide which ones can get paid if there's not enough money. In doing all of that as the estate trustee, you're actually going to be filing the final tax return. And you may have to get an accountant for that as well, because that might not be your area of expertise. But the whole idea is that once you file that tax return and you pay CRA the money that it's owed, they will eventually send you a clearance letter. That is your key to knowing when you can start distributing the assets, if there's any left over, to the beneficiaries. So we don't have an inheritance tax, which is good, but in Ontario, the probate can be extremely high at 1.5%, depending on the size of the whole estate. If there's a shortage, again, you got to decide who's getting paid and what and whom is not going to get anything. And maybe you want to give a little bit to a number of people. Again, you can make that decision with the family members. So there is so much more, but think about this now. You've got beneficiaries calling you. Tune into the next segment and see how you should handle dealing with the beneficiaries and family members. I'm Linda Levesque of Levesque Wealth Planning of IA Private Wealth, saying, you asked, we answered. Until next time.